We think about climate change wrong. We talk about climate change as a crisis, as a catastrophe, and we naturally compare it with other disasters. Which one is more severe and what makes them so different? I've even heard people who really should know better doing this. But why are our responses to these two threats so different? Get it together, Past Adam. But what's actually wrong with this? I mean, isn't climate change a crisis? Well, no, climate change isn't a crisis. Climate change is everywhere. Climate change is a part of every crisis. Let's take a look at this year. As COVID-19 has spread around the world, we've given it more and more of our attention, understandably. But at the same time, climate change has slipped down our priority list and out of our news cycles. This has very real consequences. Politicians around the world are using this opportunity to push through environmental deregulations while no one is watching. I'm just really worried about the coronavirus right now.
Oh gosh, yeah, me too, absolutely.
Wait, what are you doing? Oh my god, did you just roll back life-saving environmental regulations while I wasn't looking?
No.
But just because we're paying less attention, it doesn't mean that climate change is any less serious. In fact, 2020 has a high chance of being the hottest year ever recorded. On top of that, climate change makes coronavirus worse and vice versa. That's because you're now dealing with one disaster on top of the other, something that I definitely don't recommend.
I just don't see why you'd break up with me the day before I handed my thesis.
But unfortunately, dealing with climate change at the same time as the coronavirus isn't hypothetical. I mean, take a look at Cyclone Amphan, which has devastated South Asia, leaving hundreds of thousands homeless and causing billions of dollars of damage. Now, it's too early to know exactly climate change's effect on this particular storm, but we do know that climate change feeds storms like this with hotter waters, that higher seas mean higher storm surges, and that a hotter atmosphere holds more moisture, so that when it rains, it pours. At the moment, the safest thing we can all do to fight the spread of coronavirus is to stay indoors and maintain social distance. But when a potentially deadly cyclone is on its way, staying in is not an option. And when you do need to flee, how do you begin to do that in a way that maintains safe distance? As one Kolkata resident put it, I'm scared of going out, but I'm also scared of staying in. In the aftermath of this extreme weather disaster, the coronavirus just makes recovery that much harder. How do you get supplies to where they're needed? How do you safely rebuild? And how do you shelter potentially thousands of people without exposing them to a deadly virus? The reality is, climate change isn't a separate threat. It's woven into the other threats we face, magnifying them and complicating them. If you care about the refugee crisis, the economic crisis, or yes, the coronavirus crisis, that shouldn't serve as a distraction from climate change. It should serve to remind you why we care about climate change in the first place. If you think the topic of this video is important, please do give it a like and a share. It really does make a big difference to the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to take your support of the channel to the next level, then head over to my Patreon. Okay, until next time, bye.